So, Netflix and your favorite anime or whatever should never really be in the same sentence at all. Netflix has a way of taking things and ruining them. Now people can say, "Oh, well, the One Piece live action adaptation was okay." Yeah, because it hasn't gotten too crazy yet in the grand scope of things. With how crazy One Piece gets, with how big things get, and the powers that are, it it, it, it's not that far into the show yet. So it was fairly down to earth compared to what we can obviously should expect from it. Um, it wasn't great. It wasn't bad. I mean, I watched it and I was like, uh-huh. I mean, the main cast, at least behind the scenes stuff, looked like they were enjoying it, and I know they're fans of the show and anime, so that kind of helps it. But then you have like Yu Yu Hakusho, which I was disappointed. I waited so much, and it's like, oh my god, Toguro and Elder Toguro and Karasu and Bui, we're gonna have a dark tournament. No, they just fight them all in the final episode, like the last two episodes or whatever, and that was it. No, no Chu, no Jin, no Rinku, no dark tournament. They just defeat them all in a warehouse. Um, Cowboy Bebop was a complete flop, and that was probably the most grounded one. Like, there's nothing incredibly supernatural or otherworldly. It's just being in space. But yeah, they messed it up. They messed it up. Uh, Death Note on Netflix. So Netflix plus your favorite anime or your favorite game or whatever. No, it just doesn't work. Netflix's Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft showrunner attempts to assuage uh, fans' fears that show is a modern retconning of Lara Croft. So the person, Tasha who I don't care, is also apparently working on the live action Naruto movie, which apparently I did a video about that a while ago. None of the people on that working on that movie know anything about the show or the manga. They're going in it completely blind. So expect like M Night Shyamalan version, levels of cringe and crap with like the Last Airbender, like just pronouncing the names wrong. Like, yeah, my name is Ong. It's like, you mean Ang? Soka. I mean Sokka? I mean, they say their names like 50 times in the episodes. Like, how can you get the names wrong? So, I mean, I just have a feeling like, Naruto is going to come out and they're going to say, my name is Naruto, and this is my partner, Sakura, and Sasuke. They're just going to mispronounce everything. Um, so, I'm not excited about the Naruto movie at all. Live action Naruto, no, no, just no. Um, but people, I always say this, I feel so bad for Melanie Mack. She is the biggest Lara Croft fan. She's got a big old statue of like original Lara Croft. And I just see her, I just like imagine her seeing the stuff and like her putting her hand against her computer monitor and just look how they massacred my girl. I feel so bad for her. She like idolizes Lara Croft and they're just demolishing her character. Um Tasha, who the showrunner for Netflix's upcoming animated series, Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft, attempted. Yeah, we just read that. Those fears were expressed following the show's first trailer, where numerous fans pilloried the show. As of writing, as when was this article? September 18th, and that was a while ago. Actually, no, it was like last month or so. Actually, hang on. Yeah, it's been about a month. August 19th is when I did the video. Netflix series. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. As of writing the trailer has almost 300,000 views after a month with just 10,000 likes and has 15,000 dislikes. In the comments, they savaged the show. One person wrote, "I see Lara is still falling repeatedly. You know, haha, because she always falls." Another stated, "Oh boy, they left the comment section open again. Someone needs to teach Netflix the definition of what a teaser trailer is." One person questioned why Lara Croft's iconic pistols were not present in the trailer. Where are her guns? Well, they're not going to be there because pew-pews are bad. People every day get harmed because of pew-pews, and so they're not going to promote that kind of violence. Another expressed a similar sentiment. "All I want from Lara is wielding her signature dual pistols." I mean, you think back of like original Lara Croft, there's always like promotional pictures of her like this, you know, or from behind you see her like standing with the pistol. It's iconic Lara Croft, and original Lara Croft was badass. But now they're trying to make her like sympathetic, like, oh, she has daddy issues and relationships and this. Original Lara Croft wasn't like that. She was pretty selfish. She only saved the world when it was, convenient for her or when it benefited her. Because it's like, well, can't raid tombs if everyone is dead, and if I'm dead, so I have no choice. She wasn't, let me talk about my feelings, my daddy issues, and she didn't collect things to really study them. She collected it for the thrill of collecting, having these ancient artifacts in her possession. She's like, oh, I'm gonna study these and donate them to the museums. No, that's not what Lara Croft was about. Not only did the trailer stoke those fears, but who set them ablaze in an interview with IGN's Katie Rule, who asked her if making the series animated allows for it to be set by younger audiences, who answered, "Yeah, the hope was always that everyone could watch it. If you played the games and have young kids, you can sit and watch it and enjoy this world with them. It's sort of a gateway drug to playing the video games if you're younger. But also, I definitely wrote it for us, for adults, for people who played the games their whole lives and really enjoyed it. And so the themes are very adult. There's still a lot of violence, but the animation, you're right, does allow for it to not feel allows for it to not feel as graphic. And so it does create a bigger space for more people to enjoy, which hopefully they do." Then concluded, "I'm writing it for little girls as much as I'm writing it for big girls." What about the other gender? The large portion of people who play the games? Nah, fuck them. Eh, they're straight white dudes. Who cares? She was asked if she took any creative liberty. Boy, did she. In terms of reimagining the character for a 2024 audience. She answered, "I really wanted to capture the Lara that, as a little girl, I really fell in love with, which was someone who takes no shit, who really stands up for herself in every scenario. Against any villain, man, woman, doesn't matter. She's going to do what she wants regardless of who's standing in front of her. Unless she's sitting there crying about her feelings and consoling people and not being Lara Croft." As we were writing, as we were animating, it felt so important to show Lara as empowered at every step of the way. Even when she is at her low point, she's going to find that strength inside her, and that always inspires me with her and inspired me in the show. She continued, "And then in terms of bringing it into now and away from the games, I also wanted to know more about her relationships. No one's really cared about her relationships. I think the movies have gone into her relationships, but she was never into relationships. She was a badass woman who liked to raid tombs, to collect treasures, and she was selfish. She didn't care about, oh, I need to find a lover. She didn't care. So why is it all of a sudden they're trying to add some... They say they want... character, but I mean that maybe that's how the new Lara Croft is, but the old that's not what she was like. She's so alone in the games. Yes. Yeah, for a reason. You get a sense that she has people here and there, but she must care about people. Again, she was selfish. She only saved the world because it's hard to do things when you're dead. Can't raid tombs if you're dead. Can't raid tombs if some evil comes along and collapses all of them. So, uh, and that was also, I think, a part of bringing it into the as a woman. God, bringing into the show is how does this woman, who is this incredible badass and who can accomplish so much, how does she relate to people? How does she form friendships? No one cares. That's the thing. No one cares about how she. People weren't playing the games because of how she formed friendships. No one questioned, oh, does she have a man in her? No, no one cared. They're taking this and they're putting it onto a character that just. And that doesn't have to make her vulnerable because she loves other people, he elaborated. So exploring that sort of dichotomy of being vulnerable with friends, but still being an incredible badass. It has also been previously revealed back in 2021 that who would attempt to unify the various Tomb Raider timelines. Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy, that should be fun.
He said the team at Crystal Dynamics is hard at work unifying the timelines of Tomb Raider, and we are so excited to be part of that effort. She later added, man, this woman talks a lot. I always wondered how Lara Croft became such an epic and brilliant hero. She's so cool, so calm under pressure, and pretty witty. So to that end, the Tomb Raider anime series from Legendary Television and Netflix will provide fans like you and me around the world with some of the first steps toward unifying the Tomb Raider timelines as we transition beyond the Survivor trilogy and start to follow Lara's journey leading up to the first steps of that first Tomb Raider game. They know what they're doing. It's like, oh, well, you guys are criticizing her right now, but she's just a young Tomb Raider right now. She's not that cold, bitter person, selfish person that you see in the first games. No, we're leading up to that. Would we lie? She added, now, part of that awesome task is about bringing together pieces from the different Tomb Raider eras, including some of Lara's friends and allies. That is why I'm so thrilled to introduce you to the two additional actors who will be joining us for this wild ride. Earl Balin, who will be reprising his role as Jonah Maeva, Survivor, and Alan Maldonado, who voicing the character Zip from Tomb Raider Chronicles, Legends, and Underworld. She concluded, trust me when I say this. Trust me when I say that this is an exciting road ahead of us, and I cannot wait for you to join us. Would I lie? Shared more details on this in her interview with IGN and how she crofted the show to unify the timelines. I had the whole canon in my head because we were coming from the Survivor series, so you had to honor who Lara Croft was, that person that she was in those games, but move her into the person she was in the games where we all started playing, those early 90s games where she was just a different person. So they're going to make her go through all these trials, tribulations, being a sensitive person, gaining friendships, and all that just to have her end up the same way in the end. But she's a strong, powerful woman in their minds. We know she's strong and a powerful woman, but But then again, the whole thing with I don't need no man. So it's like, do you want to change your character so she's not like that person, or you're like, but now you're like, oh well, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. She's gonna eventually become that person. The cold, selfish person who is doing things for selfish reasons and only saves the world because it's an interest to her. How does someone like Lara, how does someone who is like Lara from the Survivor series transform into that person? What goes to drive her to become that person? Those were what just the best questions to have to deal with, and it was really exciting to work in with humor, with more humor, which is what I really loved about her early days. Getting to kind of combine those two canons has been fun. How much more do we have left? Okay, not much more. Um, she went on to note that she will attempt to provide warmth to Lara, given she previously viewed her as a cold, given she written by men. She was cold, given that she was written by men. But that's part of the appeal she had. For some reason, these people seem to think that men can't write a good female character. And we see every time a female gets a hold of female characters, they're always like stereotypical. Men like badass women. Men like badass women. Lara Croft was written by men. Badass. Samus Aran, written by men. Bayonetta, like all these characters are badass. They're written by dudes. So what is this whole about men? It sounds like just another person who hates men. It just looks like she hates men. I think it was fun to be able to have one scene where she does an incredible feat of strength or agility or what have you. The Lara thing, and then another thing where she's hugging a friend and is emotional with them. I think that's something we definitely wanted to explore in terms of Lara's womanhood. No one wants to see that. We want Lara Croft being Lara Croft. Because historically she's been written by men, so she has been kind of cold, kind of this cold figure. But according to you, you're leading up to her becoming that cold figure again. Like, you make no fucking sense. And I know she's not like that. Why? Do you know her personally? So that was the exciting part to see sort of behind the veil of how she's in her everyday life. Okay, so she's saying because Lara Croft was written by men, she's cold and distant, but we just read that she's eventually going to become that person. So you're writing it now, and she's still going to become that person. What the hell? You people make no fucking sense. Now she's attempting to put out the flames she fanned. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, she stated, "There's a desperate concern that the show is going to be too modern and not be enough of the Lara we know and love. I just want fans to know that this is the show and we've all been waiting for the show we've all been waiting for as fans. It feeds into all the stuff we love from the original." Yeah, I doubt that. This is a show made by fans from the top to. Would I lie? She went on to tease what viewers might expect. She went on to tease what viewers might expect if they tune in. We follow Lara as she's faced with the difficult obstacles. We have to make those choices as Lara in the games. And it was important to me that there was a lot of darkness that she had to experience. In the games, she would die and die and die and get back up. So are they going to have her die and die and die and get back up in the show? That was so important to me to show that kind of. I'm sorry, but that. You do know that's a game mechanic, right? It'd be kind of lame if you die once and that's the end of the game. Of course she's going to get back up again. I mean, think about it. You get the game. You're new at the game. You're playing the first 5 minutes and you die. Well, there you go. You can't play the game anymore because you've died permanently. So of course she's gonna get back up again. What kind of stupid comment is that? Game mechanic does not equal the person's character. Again, imagine if you started the game and you died within the first 5 minutes, and it's like, well, I just spent $70 for nothing because now she's permanently dead. That was so important to me to show. So no matter what, I'll get back to my feet. I mean, I get the whole, oh, well, no matter what comes her way, but the whole dying over and over again, that was a bad example. That was a really bad example. Like, imagine if any game did that. You die once, it's like, sorry, you can't play anymore. You're permanently dead in the game. In life, there are no second chances after death. You got to throw her to the... I'll just keep that comment to myself. You've got to throw her to the ground. You have to beat Lara up, because what makes her such a hero is that she gets back up no matter what. She also addressed where the show takes place in Tomb Raider canon. The story does take place in canon of Lara. It's just not some of this random installment. I think that's where I'll stop. Good. However, she did add those conversations we had up front. The show is such an easy slot between the next game and where we came from. The Tomb Raider subreddit won't even let you criticize the show before certain mods suddenly rush into White Knight and bash you for having an actual opinion. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I looked up who she should be working on Refrigerator. Again, this is the same woman who's going to be working on the Naruto movie. But the woman makes no sense. She says that, oh, because Lara Croft was written by guys, she was cold and this and that. But then she says that she's combining all the canon together and all the, you know, the timeline, and this is like the start of her journey and blah blah blah, and then she's going to become that person. So what's the point? What's the point? You're still gonna you bitch and complain that men made her a certain way, but then you as a woman are going to make her get to that same point. And then, well, I admired her because she'd die and die and die and come back, get back up again. Yeah, it's a game mechanic. Like I said, imagine playing the game, or playing WoW, or playing another game where you die and you just permanently stay dead. Well, $15 a month. Can't really do anything now because I died permanently. You know, it's stupid. Actually, with WoW, they do have hardcore mode and all that, so basically you make a character, if you die, you can't play on that character again. You have to make a new one. So I guess that's not the best example, but a game like Tomb Raider, then. It's like, oh man, I'm so glad I spent, you know, $100-something on the, you know, set here and got the game and the soundtrack and all this cool stuff. Oh man, I can't wait to look. I can't wait to play this game. 5-10 minutes in, you died. Okay, but why is it not? Why isn't it? Why can't I just get? Is this a bug? Why can't I come back? Why can't? There's no save, no respawn. Yeah, imagine if that was what was happening. But again, would they lie? So it's gonna be a pile of crap. You know, they're not giving fans what they want. They're giving people they want to give a good experience to. I'm writing the show for little girls and big girls. Because screw everyone else. Not We don't want to make it for white men. White men were the ones who created the character and wrote her this way, but we're gonna shut up. Anyway, Poor Melanie. It's like, look what they've done to you. But that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.